Hello dear friends, since we share the same passion for ISTDP, I want to share with you a nice trick that was useful for me to deal with I'm not a violent person defense during my clinical work. So let's make a specific example because we love them, right? So let's say that you are working on the transference with a patient, there's good enough rise, and there's signaling, there's good enough conscious therapeutic alliance, so you decide that's a good time to go for a portrayal. And then you ask, of course, so if you release your anger towards me, what do you do to me? And the patient might say, I fist you in the face. Sometimes it happens that for many reasons, syntonicity, you miss some defense or whatever. We are not perfect, the process is not always smooth, so we have to be prepared for incidents. So sometimes it can happen that the patient is showing you some syntonicity in that point during the portrayal. So he is saying, I fist you in the face, and then you can see instant repression, and the patient is saying like, oh, but I'm not a violent person. You can deal with that situation in many ways, but what I want to share with you is this trick that I found very useful. Then you can ask, okay, so you have the image of you fisting my face. What do you picture? And you can say, I picture your mouth covered in blood. You can say as a therapist, you can say, okay, take that image and put that image of me covered in blood close to the image of me right now, pretty safe, pretty healthy. Can you do that? The patient may say, oh yes. So the patient now is doing this imagery work. You wait some seconds, and then you hopefully know you can note a sigh. The patient is doing it, and then you can ask, are we ready to go on now? And without talking explicitly, it's just implicit communication. And then hopefully the patient would say yes, and you go on with your portrayal very smoothly. This can be very useful to work on syntonicity or to some confusion between inner world and behaviors and the effect on the outer world of inner impulses and feelings. Another situation in which I found helpful this technique was after a portrayal with a fragile person. So it was a low-rise portrayal just to help the patient build awareness and ego capacity. So after a portrayal, I received in the imagination some fists and kick, and I'm in pain in the imagination on the floor. Then maybe you are running out of time, you have to close the session pretty quickly, and you can see that the patient is very shocked from what he discovered inside himself, those violent impulses. And so what I found useful to help the patient to regulate, and to increase mentalization is to do the same thing. Okay, so you are shocked now about what you discovered about yourself, and you also told me that you have some confusion in your head. Okay, let's do an exercise. Take the image of myself in pain in the ground and take the image right now. The same annoying person that you worked with for the last 2 hours. Okay, put those images close to each other, then you wait, and you wait for some kind of signal, a sigh or something else. And what I discovered is that technique was really helpful also to help the patient to mentalize the process, to strengthen boundaries between the inner world and the outer world, and to leave the session more regulated. So, I hope that what we discussed today was helpful for you, and if you like my way to explain stuff, I'll kindly invite you to join my seminar, and you can find more precise information in the description above. So goodbye and see you soon. Let me know in the comment what you think about what I just said. Goodbye.